Welcome back to the Constitution in 3 Minutes with Mr. Postel. Last time we left off with Mr. Hamilton's plan, a plan that seemed a lot like monarchy, or at least aristocracy, and a plan that must have offended many of the men from small states who wanted a weak federal government and strong state governments. Why? Well, because one of the very last things that he proposes is that all of the governors be revoked from office in his plan, and that all power to negative laws, even state laws, be given to the federal executive. Now, that was June 18th. On the 19th, Madison gives an argument against Mr. Patterson's plan. He just completely ignores Mr. Hamilton's plan for whatever reason. And Mr. Madison proceeds with 8 points. 6 of them are questions that he asks the men from the small states, and in 2 of those points he begs the men from small states. So what are his questions? Well, the first question that he asks is, will it prevent the violations of the law of nations and of treaties, which, if not prevented, must involve us in calamities of foreign wars? He's asking them questions about the possibility of good government under the Patterson Plan. His second question is, will it prevent encroachments on the federal authority? His third question is, will it prevent trespasses of the states on each other? His fourth question is, will it secure the internal tranquility of the states themselves? His fifth question is, will it secure a good internal legislation and administration to the particular states? His sixth question is, will it secure the Union against the influence of foreign powers over its members? After he asks these questions and negatives every one of them, he begs them twice. In his notes, it says 7. He begged the smaller states, which were most attached to Mr. Patterson's plan, to consider the situation in which it would leave them. In the first place, they would continue to bear the whole expense of maintaining their delegates in Congress, so they'll have to pay more taxes. Whereas if there's a federal government which can collect taxes and pay federal representatives, they won't have to pay taxes, so he's appealing to their wallets. His 8th beg is 8. He begged them to consider the situation in which they would remain, in case their pertinacious adherence to an inadmissible plan should prevent the adoption of any plan. They're going to ruin the whole enterprise of making a stronger federal government. This plan won't be acceptable to the people from the large states, Madison says. Madison goes on to say the great difficulty lies in the affair of representation, and if this could be adjusted, all others would be surmountable. At the end of the 19th, they vote to accept Mr. Randolph's plan. So Madison's speech apparently convinces enough members of the convention that the only viable plan is Mr. Randolph's plan. The vote is 7 to 3 to 1. The only divided state is Maryland. Thank you, and we'll pick up next.